Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today we're going to do a video heads up on the PSE Perform X 40-inch versus the Mathews TRX 37 40-inch to see which is the better target bow. Now, to start off with, we're going to start with the Perform. The Perform's mass weight is 5.2 ounces. With the sight on, the arrow rest, it weighs 5.6. The IBO speed on this bow is 332 feet per second. The draw length is adjustable from 26.5 to 32 inches with let-off adjustable also on the module. So basically one module does all the adjustment. You don't need a bow press to work on that. You just rotate it around. It's a twin cam system with a yoke which pulls on the cam evenly to stop cam lean. The bow comes in a whole heap of colors. There's probably about 8. That's an anodized finish. It's a shoot through riser. There's probably around 8 colors: gold, silver, black, red, dark cherry, bronze, purple, green, rose gold. I probably missed some in there, but basically a whole heap of anodizing. Now the Mathews TRX. This is the TRX 7, so it's got a little 7 on the back here. This is the fastest of the two TRXs. It also comes in an 8-inch brace height or a 7-inch. This is a 7, which is why it's the TRX 7. It's 40 inches axle to axle. It's got the shorter limbs here. The draw length is adjustable by modules, which you have to purchase, and you can just let off by modules. Modules cost you around $80. You've got a machine limb pocket here. The colors, this is a painted finish as opposed to anodized. It comes in black, blue, red, or yellow, I think. Sorry, no yellow anymore. Black, blue, red, or silver, I think that might be, or white. It says on the Mathews site. I thought it also came in yellow. Now the finish on the black is it's almost like a hunting finish. It's kind of a rough powder coat finish. I definitely preferred the anodizing finish on the previous Mathews. The limb pockets are fully machined, and the engraving on the side here looks really nice, the Mathews on the side. The limbs have got reinforcing on the limb tips here. This is designed to stop you, if you dry fire the bow, to stop the limbs blowing apart. And you can see the extra padding in the limb there to stop the limbs blowing apart if you dry fire them. This has got a huge riser on it. The mass weight of this bow is 4.9 pounds, so it's physically lighter than the PSE, which is really surprising because it feels like a boat anchor in my hands, but the PSE is physically heavier. And when you pick them both up, you can kind of feel it, but they do feel similar. And we're going to just check the Mathews on a bow scale. This is with a sight. So it's got a sight and an arrow rest on it, and we're just going to double check the weight. So the PSE was 5.6 with everything on it. I'm not really finding a spot to hang it. There. So the mass weight of this bow comes in at 5.7. So 5.7 versus, hang on, that can't be right, can it? 5.7 versus 5.6. I don't know if I've done something wrong. It shouldn't weigh that much. I'll just go to the scales. Just there. 5.7. Now the Mathews has got a roller cable guard on it here. The PSE's got a flexible cable guard, so the PSE it moves in to stop torquing. The Mathews uses the roller cable guard here, basically so there's no cable guard movement. So we're just going to lock this in place. Sorry. There. I'll just reset it. I don't know what that read, but let's try it again because I couldn't see it. Again, 5.4 this time. I'm hoping you can see that. So I did get 5.4. So 0.2 of a pound lighter than the PSE, which is pretty close to what the specs say. The specs from Mathews have this at 4.92, the PSE 5.2, so 0.2 of a pound lighter. They're pretty similar in weight. Speed-wise, they're both the same at 332, both the same axle, both the same brace height. So what we're comparing here is to see how these things draw and how they feel. Now the Mathews have got this unique cam system. It's a twin cam, but it's unique. It's designed by Mathews, so you have basically a yoke on one side, if you want to call it that, and it just drives off the other side. So it's a kind of a 3 pulley system with one yoke on one side, and then it pulls on the cam. So you've got basically a twin cam with a yoke pulling on one side. On most bows, this is on the opposite side, and this runs really close to the cam. So I haven't shot one of these for a while, so let's go and compare them and see how they shoot, and let's run them through the chronograph and see if they shoot the same speed. Okay, so we're going to try the draw cycle out on these two bows. So just in the overall finish of the bows and the way the bow looks, I think the PSE's got a better look. I think the Mathews limb pockets look better with the writing on the side, but I think given the anodizing, the huge range of colors PSE is offering, and the look of the shoot-through riser, I think the PSE is a better looking bow than the Mathews. I find the Mathews a bit straight looking, kind of a bit boring looking, but it's up to you on how you see a bow looks. The PSE is more adjustable, being adjustable from 26.5 to 32 inches than the Mathews. And the PSE also, you can change the lead off, and you don't have to buy modules. With the Mathews, you have to buy modules to change it. So I think on adjustability, the PSE wins. So now let's just see what the draw cycle is like on both these bows and see what the vibration feels like afterwards. So it starts off solid, valleys starts there, valley, 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 and there's this dead stop. And I'm going to take the shot. There's a little bit of a jump forward when you shoot the bow. But overall, the draw cycle is really nice on the Perform, and that basically last year was a huge thing for PSE. Now the TRX. The TRX is adjustable by modules, so you've got to buy the module separately. I will say with these little things here, there's a little bit of rubber there. It's just a finishing product. You can see it perishes. I'm not having a shot at, well, Mathews would probably shoot me for saying that, but the rubber does perish, and I've found recently it's an issue on lots of bows, rubber perishing. Customers ring up and go, that should be covered by warranty, and it's like it's a $2 part. Anyway, I would prefer Mathews wouldn't put the rubber on there if it perishes. This bow's never been outside, it's just been on display in my shop, and like I said, that rubber's perished. This bow's probably, I don't know if I shot it for a bow review, but it would have had maybe 6 or 8 shots through it. It has had people test this bow. It hasn't been sold. The TRX I've found hard to sell as a bow. People have tried it, because I always suggest people try every bow I've got in my shop when they're looking at a new top-end target bow. And this is the top of the range from Mathews. So I always suggest try the Hoyt, try the PSE, and see which one you like the feel of. So this bow's set on 60 pounds at 29 inches, theoretically. Let's see. Now the first thing you notice is it wants to pull upwards like that in your hand. The balance is a lot more top heavy than the PSE. So I'm going to just try and explain this draw cycle. Because the arrow is in the center of the string, the bow feels like it's pulling upwards. Now when you fit stabilizers to this, it will probably feel a lot better. But in the draw cycle, just straight up, the PSE feels better to draw because of the balance. So it starts off quite soft. So the first inch of pull is definitely easier than the PSE. Kind of similar to the Hoyt in the draw cycle. So there it's easy, stunning peak there, peaking, 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 valley, stop. The valley is less than well, it's nothing. And it feels like about 50% let off. So I'm going to take this shot. Now the shot afterwards is a lot deader than the PSE. So the vibration afterwards is much better than the PSE. In my opinion, the bow is dead in your hand afterwards, and that's probably due to the short limbs the Mathews have got, so you've got little movement in the shot afterwards. Now the draw cycle, because the valley is so short, it's the shortest of all the target bows, of the Hoyt Prevail, of the PSE. The PSE, you know, the valley starts about here, and you're still drawing it back, and it's like, oh, this is easy. This, it's peaking just about there, just before you hit that anchor point. It's peaking at that point, and then it hits this short little valley, and that's why you're getting the speed out of the Mathews. So we're just going to take one more shot. So it's easy here, easy, peaking, 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 valley, stop. Now to let that bow down, it's a much harder bow to let down than the PSE. Like I kind of grinched when I was letting that bow down. And because of the balance, it feels like a harder pull, I'm going to say. It feels harder on when I'm balancing the bow in my pivot point in my hand than the PSE. It's less natural pull, I'm going to say. So let's just try that again. Back here, stop, and shoot. But after the shot, this bow is the best of all three, the Prevail and the PSE, in my opinion. There's no shock, there's no vibration afterwards, and I'd have to shoot both. It feels like the quietest of all three of the target bows. So in my opinion, the draw cycle's harder. It'd probably get better with stabilizers, because the stabilizers are going to balance this bow, because it's so top heavy. So to me, the draw cycle is a little bit harder, but after the shot, the Mathews is better. So I'm going to give after the shot in vibration definitely to the Mathews, the looks to the PSE, the adjustability to the PSE, the draw cycle to the PSE, but after the shot, definitely to the Mathews, clear cut. It feels better in the hand after the shot. So now we're going to put these two bows through the chronograph and see, do they really shoot the same speed. Okay, so the arrows I'm going to shoot are Victory VAPs. These are my target arrows. I've got 140 grain points. They're 350s. I shoot them at 29 inches and I'm a 28.5 inch draw length. So they generally shoot pretty good. I've got pins in them and biter pin knocks. So they're a heavy shaft. Now last time I did this, it's still on the chronograph at 277. And let's shoot another shot. .276. Now to me, I've shot this Perform now probably about 20 times, 20 arrows through it, maybe 15. It feels better with every draw cycle. It feels smoother and easier every draw cycle. But I compare it to the shot of the TRX. After I shoot at the TRX, when on the release, it feels like a 40-pound bow. It's just, there's nothing there at all after the shot. So now we're going to put the TRX through the chronograph and let's see if this is a 277 feet per second bow. One thing I am going to say is Mathews serve where the cables go over the roller slide. PSE don't. I think PSE should serve, and I think when if you buy a Perform, then you should serve over the cables here to stop wear. I'm sorry I didn't check the Hoyt. I know that the Hoyt hunting ones are now served almost the entire length of the string. Serving it keeps the moisture in the string and it stops wear. So keeps the dirt out basically. So let's see what sort of speed we get out of the TRX. .274, that's pretty impressive. So in my summary, I think the PSE is a better looking bow than the TRX. I think the draw cycle is easier, the PSE is more adjustable than the TRX. I think after the shot, the TRX feels better than the PSE. I think the TRX will be better once you put stabilizers on it for target archery. The draw cycle would feel better and smoother. And the PSE is a fraction faster than the TRX, even though they're spec'd at the same speed. And we're talking 2 feet per second. So overall, that's the assessment. But I still think this TRX is a nice product, and I almost think that it's undersold, but I think that's the reason it is undersold. It's the paint, the look of the bow, and sorry, there's the other little rubber thing there, perished off. So yeah, but a nice product, feels nice, and there's no question you're going to shoot well with any of these bows. And I'm going to make a last comment I'm going to make. When the bow is heavy, it's obviously sometimes not suitable for beginners because of the mass weight. The mass weight, you will fatigue with the weight of the bow, and basically you'll shake because you don't have the strength. So often if you're new to the sport, or you don't have the strength build up, or you're not shooting a lighter bow is going to be better for you. So even though we go the Hoyt or the PSE or the Mathews, which are all top of the line target bows, you may be better and you may shoot better with a lighter bow. So just bear that in mind. So I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's my assessment of the TRX versus the PSE Perform. And get into your local shop and check out both bows and see which one you like the feel of. Thank you for watching. Bye.